I have like, I think about 30 minutes, about 30 minutes before I go to work. I am going to work today. I haven't been here on my cute little channel. One thing that I also noticed is, excuse me, I needed that. One thing that I also noticed is that I have had a few people follow me on my YouTube, and I would like to say thank you to the new people who subscribed. It is rather very difficult for me to constantly come on live, because sometimes life happens and you just get busy, And this is something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy coming live. This is like my little I am a live chicken on myself, on my live. So it's very sporadic nowadays, especially like since having had a huge life change, or is it changes, I might say. It's become a bit more difficult for me to be online and be live, as most times I find myself just doom scrolling, if I'm being fair. However, yes, I'm here now. Today's Saturday. It's the 20th. In 5 days, we have Christmas. And then the year of 2025 is officially done. Because, I mean, after Christmas, like, you're literally waiting on the new year. So, I can't wait to see what 2026 is like, what changes the world is going to face in 2026. Interestingly, I find myself being that old lady who yells at the clouds most times and using the ancestral speeches like, yeah, back then it was better. My teacher always says to us, he always asks us, what does better mean? What do you mean back then it was better? And then you find yourself introspecting. You're like, the world does have to like move, We always move. No matter what happens, the world will move. So it's not better back then. We are trying to make the future better, hopefully. We don't know. Yeah, we're gonna see. I'm interested to see. The last 10 years, I have not been to any big New Year event. Actually, yeah, but the last 5 or 6 years, I'm usually in bed for the New Year. And I actively switch off my phone because I know most of my friends are like huge on New Year and New Year celebration. So they're probably going to call me, and we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I get random and just decide to just, up and leave. Go to some random place somewhere, after New Year, like, hello, Happy New Year to your partner or whoever it is that you have in your life. And then you're like, okay, Happy New Year to you. It's 0000000. Now I gotta go to party with my friends. That's also a possibility, actually. Let's see. Let's see how I feel on the 31st. I'm also thinking about what to get my friends for Christmas. I don't know what to get them for Christmas, because they're all grown. So most times when you ask a grown, but like, I'm gonna ask you what you want. What do you want? And they're all like, I don't know, no, nothing. But I like gifting. I like seeing somebody open a little present and just be happy. It's Christmas. It's very nice to open a present. Let's see. So I don't know what I'm gonna get my friends. One has told me what she wants. It's not really a present like that, but this is something she's been asking, and I've been saying to her, hey, I'm not a professional. I don't know how to do this. But she asked me to do her hair. She wants me to braid her hair. I suck at it, as in I'm horrible at it, but she insists. So, and it's her Christmas wish. So who am I but to help her? And I think it would actually be fun. I think we'll have a lot of fun and we laugh together. How much I mess it up. I mean, of course, I'm gonna give it my all, but if it gets crazy. We just laugh about it together. I think it's mostly also spending time together because I really love her. She's somebody who I cherish very much in my heart. I love all my friends. They all have different characteristics, all of them. Like, not one of my friend is like the same in character with the other, which I also appreciate very much because you need that stability. And whenever I go, you see how I'm like just everywhere? And whenever I go into these feelings, I'm like, what kind of friend am I? Like, what kind of friend am I? Like, how would you describe me to your other friends? Like, if they had to ask you, like, oh, what is Miss Susie like? I would be like, I don't know. I have to ask my friends. I haven't. I think that's an interesting question. I'm going to ask somebody today when I go to work. I'm going to ask her, like, how would you describe me to people? Like, how do I come across, generally? Maybe I won't like what I hear. So yesterday, I was at work, and women, we are very shady. We are very shady and very sneaky. So I woke in yesterday. We were having a meeting, and one colleague makes a comment. She's like, "Oh yeah, I can smell some perfume like all the way down the stairs." And this hoe, I don't like her. She don't like me, but we are very cordial. We at work. We're gonna be professional. She goes, "Yeah, it's hers." And all the time when she's driving in the car, I have to like open the windows. I didn't say shit because I know I smell good. So guess what I did today? Put on that shit again, because I don't do it for you, love. I do it for me. It makes me happy. And if you cannot handle that, well, that's a you problem now, isn't it? Because other people like it, and I make sure that my perfume that I wear is not strong at all, very mild. There are people with sensitive noses. I keep that in mind also. So I always look for something that is very, very mild. Very mild. If I can smell it on myself, that's not good. But because I am also like very allergic to most things. So I'm very specific about what I wear. But I know where that comment was coming from, because I see how whenever I get a compliment from anybody, it's like it triggers her butthole, like inside her large intestines, how worms start eating at her and she just cannot stand it. It's absolutely wonderful. So I'm gonna keep doing me. And it was something that I was laughing about yesterday. I was like, that little hoe. Bless her evil heart. I'm just gonna be here and do me. Yeah. Like, I don't know what's wrong with her. Like, even during the meeting, like, she's just there rolling her eyes at people. Like, girl, what is that? She was just like rolling her eyes during the meeting and just being just disrespectful. And most times in such settings, I try not to make comments, to just disrupt the entire meeting. My light is still having problems, you guys. I don't know why, but we have been here before, we know. So anyway, this lady, I didn't like this, but I didn't say anything because it was a meeting, and the lady who was, holding the meeting, very professional, very lovely. She keeps to her things, and this other one is just like, I want to go home. I'm like, oh, you can go, you don't have to stay here. You can just go. You have free will. Just be like, I have something, I have a meeting, I have to go like in 10 minutes. Like, nobody's gonna be like, no, you don't. Just go. Like, anyway, this is why it's very also difficult. I try to avoid having friends at work like that because it just muddies the water. Although I do have friends at work, but they're good friends, so okay, just two. Just two. And then those are enough. Those are enough. So yeah, so I'm very careful with having friends from work getting too close, because I also notice, like, in the job that I am, people, the lines slowly start to get blurry. Everybody thinks they can be in everybody else's business, which I do not like. I don't, I want to hear about gossip from other people that I don't know. You know, I'll be on the internet and this man will be talking about what he did or who did what to him. And I'll be like, oh, really? Tell me more. I have absolutely no idea who you are, but tell me more. And I'll be listening in. But if it hits too close to home, I'm like, I'm not interested in the drama, you know, because then it makes everything so uncomfortable. Imagine walking into work and you know that your colleague had a fight or had an argument with their partner, and you're just like, it just muddies the water. It makes things a bit complicated, you know. I also had a conversation with my sister the other day. She's like, what about those people who like go out? I should stop doing that. I'm using a lot of filler words and I'm trying to avoid using filler words. Words, for example, like, you know, like, I have to, I have to concentrate to speak more clearly. Anyway, as I was saying, people who date their bosses. I I mean, it does muddy the water. It does make things a bit complicated when you have an argument at your place or anywhere else and then you have to come into work. However, I think it's doable. If both of you are mature enough to be like, see that? If both of you are mature enough and sit down and make the ground rules for a relationship, even if you're literally going through a divorce, you should be able to work together at work, at least, in my opinion. Albeit one of you has to look for a new job, yes, but if you're looking for, I think it's doable. Ich denke, es ist machbar, wenn ich ehrlich bin. Like, just be normal. I don't know why, even when it's a messy breakup, you have to bring it to the office, you know. I can be like, put on that game face, girl or man, make your money, do what you be professional, you know. The same way, if you are having problems generally, I do not believe in taking your problems to work. Like if you're, see that? Even if you're like, if you are a waitress or a waiter and you're having problems, it doesn't matter, especially if you are in work that requires human interaction. I'm of the opinion that you should not bring your bad mood to work. Because if I'm walking into a hotel, if I'm walking into your restaurant, if I'm walking into your place of work for a service, I don't need your bad attitude because that has absolutely nothing to do with me. You are here to do a job. During your lunch break or during your break, you can go outside, scream into a pillow, do what you need to do, put your game face in, come back in and offer the best service that you can. Because if you give me attitude and you're not going to tell me about why you're giving me attitude, about why you broke up with your boyfriend or why you broke up with your girlfriend, then I don't need your attitude. You know, be professional. So even like if you're dating your boss, just be professional. Don't bring that shit to work. You will not be huggy kissy with your boss at work. She should not, you know, just like, Grüß Gott, hello. Just be like normal. So I think it's doable. However, I understand why most companies say they don't accept or encourage colleagues dating each other. They don't encourage it. However, I am of the opinion that it's doable. You can do it. Are you cold? It is cold. I'm about to leave for work. It's about 6 degrees outside. However, I freeze easily. So inside the house, it's 21, 22 degrees inside the house, Celsius. And outside, it's about 6 degrees Celsius. So I will be leaving for work. That's why I'm dressed like this. I'm going for work. I'm a nurse. So, yeah. So that's what I was saying. Like, even in my job, me going to the people, even if I have had an argument or I'm in a bad mood, most of the people that I see, I am the first face they see in the morning, you know? So Why would I go and bring you more bad attitude? That's just weird. So I think it's possible. I think it's possible if you're a mature person, both of you, in that relationship that you're trying to start, if you put the ground rules on it and be like at work, we are very professional. Even if we broke up, we are very professional. We do not, go to HR, report to whoever you need to report to, and be like, we're not going to bring that shit here. We're going to be professional. So I think it's doable. But I understand why people avoid that, or companies generally try to avoid that, because it gets muddy very quickly. A new colleague walks in and, you start getting familiar. I don't know. Just maturity, just be normal. I have also been listening to podcasts, actually. Well, I have been for a long time. However, I find myself listening to more female-led podcasts. I like Madame Joyce's podcast. It's very light. It's not something extremely, extremely serious. I enjoy the light-heartedness of it. She talks about everything. I am somebody who the last few months I have been avoiding watching the news because it's just horrible. There's nothing good when it comes to watching the news. It's either somebody has died, war here, war there. No, no. Ich will das nicht mehr. Ich will das nicht mehr sehen. I don't want to watch the news anymore. I don't want to hear the news anymore. It's just low vibrational shit. Like, it's just low vibrational, sad, fear-mongering news everywhere. So most times I'm like listening to my podcast. I'm listening to Decisions, formerly called Horrible Decisions. I'm listening to Poor Minds. I'm listening to Love Lex P. I'm listening to Crystal's Couch. I'm listening to The Read. I was listening to a few African podcasts. Are they African podcasts? Yeah, but then they got boring. The issue that I've been having with most of them, especially the men-led podcasts, it's like they start on a very good trajectory. They're talking about normal stuff, politics. They interview a few artists here and there. They talk about the trending stuff. And then I do not know why it always leads into the men podcast, that is. It always leads into this misogynistic content most of the time. It's, oh, what can a woman? Why is it that women are? I'm just like, girl, just... Anyway, I have to go now. Thank you very much for staying with me and hearing me blubber away on a nice Saturday morning. I do hope you have a good day, because I am going to have a good day today. All right, see you soon.